see there is a lot of hardware on the table. I will just enable another microphone on my iPhone here. Essentially what you can see here is a very old Intel 775 based Q6600. Base frequency 2.4 gigahertz. It's actually a pretty good overclockable CPU, so that's what we are going to do today. I have some interesting history of this thing because it was one board I bought in like 2007 or 2008 when the generation was released, using this cooler, which is an Alpenföhn Rocken, yeah, German sounding name, which worked pretty well. The TDP of the CPU is not that high, so it's not really that much of a problem. It was in use for many years. Let's put it aside and look at another option, which is this thing here. This is a all-in-one closed-loop cooler from Cooler Master. It seems to be using the usual A-stack design. You can see the radiator is pretty much the same on any of them. You will see it on this one as well. 120 millimeters, non-controllable pump speed as far as I'm aware. Yep, only PWM output for speed. This is one of the cheap options. You can get it for like €50. Yeah, these are usable for pretty much anything. Yeah, generation after i5 first and second generation, they are good for up to 100 watts of TDP depending on your fan, which is not really much of an issue. We will however not use this one either. It will be used in another project of mine. Let's just put it away again. Here we have a higher end edition, which is, again, as you can see on the design, an A-stack, a radiator, and a customized inside XT pump, which is actually USB controllable, as you can see here. This is in reality pretty useless. These are however pretty nice for reliability, and full copper plate, full copper insides, nice tubes, not too hard, not too sturdy, pretty easy to use, not cheap. They are expensive at about €80, I think is what I paid for this 120mm one. This would be a pretty good candidate for this project if you want to do a normal overclocking, but we will go some further, so we will have some more interesting stuff. So let's put it away again. So this is the object of our interest today. Let me just put my testing board away. This is an Alpha Cool 360mm expandable radiator. It will do about, I think, 240 watts of TDP, which is actually pretty useful as well for up to Threadripper and similar generations, Core i9. It's extendable, as you can see on the pipes here. They are quick release, and you can just plug in a GPU kit or another radiator kit or another pump, even for a redundant pump usage. So this is what we are going to use today. Considering this is not just any normal build, we will have to do some compromises on how we are going to cool other components on the mainboard. This is specifically affecting the that way. As you can see, we have a lot of equipment here. I will explain it later. In the end, this generation of the Intel CPUs has two issues. One of them using DDR2 memory, which is besides of not being very fast. I think this is actually 800 megahertz, if not 600 or whatever. And the second one being the heat dissipation on the North Bridge and South Bridge, which is one of the last generations that has it. Being pretty bad, requiring actually an active fan installed on this side for the jokes, I guess, of the CPU. We will get around this by using some other components. This will be pretty much required, but it will not cause really much delay or any issues. Okay. So, as you can see here, I have a G-Skill RAM cooling module, which is basically just, I think, 260mm fans, which just clamps onto the RAM banks here and here. This is not really that much needed, however DDR2 can get pretty hot, so yeah, you never really know, so we just want to make sure. Okay, this is just a small Noctua fan which we'll use to cool the heat pipe ending here by just installing it basically on top. No, actually I just revised that plane before and forgot about that into a much easier way. That will however not work anymore. Okay, yeah, yes, we will have to install the CPU cooler first, obviously. Let's remove the whoop. Oh yeah. So usually these contain a retention kit for pretty much any recent socket. The 775 is not really any modern variant, but yeah, it is included. Actually, it includes an M4 kit as well, which is not listed on the packaging. This is listed as Intel. This is just screws and some, it seems to be thermal grease, but I will not use that. I have my own very trusted one. So, if I'm correct, these should be marked for whatever Intel bracket they are designed for. Okay. So, let's see. Oh, I have my cooler here, I have my plate here. I will, as any usual PC builder, just ignore any of the manuals included. Oh, actually that seems pretty solid, huh? Very simple. Okay. Oh, if you don't lose the parts, that is. Okay. So the retention kit on the CPU. Okay. Somewhat like this, like this. Okay. Yeah, that looks more like installation kit for 1151, which will not fit this one. Yeah, well, the AM4 kit just includes the generic AM4 information, which is pretty useless. There are some generic fans included, which we'll use later on as well. There is, in fact, no further documentation included anyway, which is kind of interesting. Okay, weird. But whatever, we will find a way as usual. So, let's see. That's an Intel kit. That makes sense. That is below. That also makes sense. The retention kit goes onto this. However, it has to go below it. Oh, okay, yeah, okay, I get it. This is actually a pretty neat system. It just said on the kit onto the CPU cooler itself. It will interlink in the middle. As you can hear, it clicked. Now you have a mountable cooler, which in my case is actually extremely useful because I have already mounting holes on this mainboard. They are obviously not the original ones or in any way, yeah, let's say certified for usage in this combination in any, yeah, but yeah, we'll find out. Okay, let's see. Other place the radiator just like this for now. And generally, if my measurements are not entirely off, and they seem not to be, okay, which is very good actually. Okay, I see minor scratches on the copper surface of the radiator, which indicates it will touch the die. So, let's just think how much it will touch it. That's what's the question, because then we might need to change the mounting hose and remove my custom mounting, as you can see here, and here. This would be not really annoying, but it would be kind of inconvenient to do right now. So let's see, if that seems fine, we just screw it on and use it like this for now. This goes on here, yes, okay. So let me apply some pressure. I can screw on all sides. This is fine. Let's remove it again for a second. Oh wow, it's actually pretty solid. Oh, as you can see, the spread is absolutely perfect. So yeah, the same is true on 775 than it is on 1366 or socket B, that you can just pretty much use whatever mainboard separators you have to fix them. I just quickly need to find some screws for this crap. Actually, how much space do I have here? Would this fit? I'm not exactly Sorry about that. Oh no, sadly these do not fit. Oh yeah, no worries, these are just minimal problems being solved right now. Oh yeah, there we go. First one is mounted. I'll just quickly find another mounting kit and reactivate this crappy camera, because whatever it does, it's not really useful. So, okay. Just remember this is not the right place to search for. M3. 1, 2, 3. This one already. So let's rock on. Yeah. So, as usual, it's very important to use not too much force on the first few screws to not bend any components either on the PCB or on the CPU itself. This is especially true if you have a deleted CPU like a Mac Pro, Xeon of another older generation or similar, which might suffer from such problems. However, I do not expect this system to survive, so it's not really much concern for me right now. So, the last screw seems to be very bent. But will it? Yes, it actually did fit perfectly fine. And we have our trusted iFixit kit, which I did not get sponsored. I actually paid the full price for it, and it was not cheap. However, certainly still worth the money. So just tighten them a tiny bit, not too much, not too less. Okay, and there we go. This was the water block. So we have the water block, we have some interesting other things to do. We have here the fan for the VRMs. Which will have to be fixed in a certain way that will not cause too much issues if I need to remove it later again. However, there is always a solution to this, which is called super glue. Super glue is the solution to everything. Yeah. The problem is just if you cannot locate any super glue, which in this case is very unfortunate. This is kind of annoying because I just said it some minutes ago. But you know, that's the usual forgetfulness. Oh. Oh, I found it. So, our trusted superglue will fix this high-speed Noctua fan on the recombinant side of the Asus cooler. I did not really bother to remove the cooler or try really doing any other modifications. We will in this case just rely on the airflow and see what the hell this thing can do. So, as you can see, it's already holding. I will in this case use just random fan plugs and spin them up to 100%. I mean, this is an overclock thing after all and not a silent PC. That would be a bit crazy. So, as we have one side of the cooling covered, we need to still cover the other side. I will not cover the rear side I/O here, as it is really hard to reach by any usable fan. I do not really have anything smaller than this one here left, which fits perfectly here. This is fine because the first slot is PCI X1 anyway, and the second one is PCI, which was pretty common back in the day, so it's useless in any case, especially as you have another one down there. So we will use our expert gluing method to add this NZXT fan, which I think I stole from a G12 kit that I used for a very custom water cooling solution at one point. So they did not need any VRM cooling anymore. So, okay. Here we just need to hold this in place for a second. And let me try to adjust the camera a bit. As you can see, the fan is not covering the PCI Express slot, which means it can be still used fully for a GPU or anything else. So, this is somewhat taking unexpectedly long. Could I maybe get off with my measurements here, or do I not have enough super glue left? Obviously in situations like that you cannot use any hot glue or similar shit because it will just melt away and yeah, you'll get a mess and some fucking other crap. So, okay, I think now we got it. Just a bit of a millimeter. That was not as available as it should be. I will plug in the pump into the CPU fan connector. And I will plug in the additional fan here. after wiring it a bit around to avoid some cable mess. Not too much. Into the chassis fan connector. For the time, this motherboard actually offered a lot of fan connectors and a lot of configurable PCI Express options, as you can see on the switches, allowing to use the last two slots in I think X1 or X4 mode by cutting bandwidth from the first one or disabling the other the other two PCI Express X1 slots, which was kind of a new feature at the time. Okay. This seems to not like me, but I have the perfect solution for such things, which is called a copper plate. Yes, because the copper plate and the glue should immediately react and stick on this crappy Asus shit. Oh, really, Asus, why did you make it so hard? No, I mean, after all, what we are doing here is not really inside the usual warranty specifications or anything else. So, okay, I can feel some pressure. Okay, I can feel that it is a bit more solid than before, at least, which should be enough for our testing, especially as the GPU will secure it again. It is already plugged in. Before we add the fans on the radiator, I will just add. No, this is fine. I will add an old GPU, which is actually what GT730 2048 megabytes. That's actually not that old. Yeah, really. What a surprise. Let's see. It will not really do much shit, I guess. But we will find out. So, okay. As we have seen with parts, we need to take care of some specific jokes around this area, for which I will just use aluminium heatsinks. Yes, these are pre-used and will not have perfect thermal conductivity anymore. However, as we will probably just use these ones, it's not really too relevant. And the general consensus is that you cannot really have enough of them, so yeah, whatever. Okay, we have a GPU installed, we have the CPU cooler installed. We will now add some fans to our CPU cooler. Actually, I wanted to use 3 Noctua 3000 RPM fans. However, they are currently in use in another build. Two of them, the third one is laying here on the table. So we just use the included Ice Wind 1700 RPM. Okay, I will just mix them. I will use 2 of the airs and I will use one of my ultra high speed 3000 RPM fans, just in case. Hey, you never know. So let's see. Oh yeah, this is always the usual crap. Will it screw or will it not screw? Or do I have the wrong screws? Will we find out very shortly? Yes, we will, because we have to. These are spring-loaded screws. Oh, it's actually a PVM splitter. Very useful. I will use that to split it up. This is an AM4 retention kit, which is not useful. This is another ice wind fan, which is also not useful. Yeah. I am kind of confused what the hell I am. Oh, it's these ones, okay. Yeah, the screws kind of look alike, but they are not. The socket screws are a tiny bit different than the screws used actually to fix the fans on the radiator. As you can see, I was able to perfectly fit one of them, which is a smaller head, which, as you can see, fits perfectly fine now, while the larger head ones are primarily, I assume, for the connection from the backplate of the main board to the front of the pump in this case. Yeah, as you can see, I did the same mistake again here. Ah, yes. Very good. This is another one. So, I am missing at least one more which fell down before. Ironically, I found another one from another cooler which actually should fit perfectly fine. No, it does not. Well, at least it was worth a try. These are long ones. This is nothing useful. I am fairly sure they are somewhere around here. Oh well, it's that one. That's the one I should use. That's another one. Okay. Yeah, that's kind of an issue. Not really, is it? Minimally annoying. Yeah, a tiny bit. Just a second and I will organize perfectly fitting other screws. Here is one of them. It's however too long. Then we still have options in our building area. And the screwdriver. Okay, there we go. Okay. Oh, interesting. Screws taken out of a NZ XT radiator do not fit into. What a weird coincidence, okay. I did not expect it. Okay, well, we will have to improvise here for a second. We will not. One up here. So, this fixes top radiator. To fan. Yeah. So, yeah, we are just abusing a design flaw, but it's not like it matters in any way. Okay. Well. Oh yeah, interesting, I found the correct screws now. But it doesn't matter anymore. Okay. Now that we have disconnected, let's start on something more interesting, which is actually a boot up process. Obviously you cannot have your radiator laying like that, so we'll just use it like that for now. This is obviously not the perfect solution, but yeah. Let's see if we find one more fan connector somewhere. Yes, we have a chassis fan which is down there. We have sadly no CPU2 fan, which would be kind of useful in this situation, but I will just second VRAM and other component to the chassis fan position, and everything will be well. There we go. I'll just make sure this does not get into any fans or something like that. Okay. So yes, so now this is the build. I'll just remove some stuff from the Arctic, from the Alpha Core kit, and put them safely back in the original box before we can actually start with the more interesting measurements. So, as you can see, I have brought quite some technology here right now. We have a decibel meter, which will tell us how loud this thing actually is. So let's see, we have an infrared camera, which will tell us some more data about the exact heat consumption and the exact heat dissipation over the components. We'll use that later. And you might not know it, but if all of this fails and we are just not getting cool enough, I have this thing, which is, I will not tell you right now what it is, but it will be kind of interesting to use, but definitely ruin the mainboard in the end. So, as the power supply of our choice, we have a Thermaltake 450 watt power supply, which is perfectly fine considering we have no other GPU than this GT730, which is just running on the 75 watts provided by the PCI Express bus. So we need to just find the right connectors. Okay. This always looks more easy than it is. No, actually it looks harder than it is. You just have to align them correctly and everything will go in smoothly. Sometimes. So, this is a modified power supply I used for Bitcoin mining and some other shit in the past. So yeah, it's lacking a Molex plug for these fans, but I will just quickly fix it because I have an adapter for that. It does not lack the 8-pin power supply for the CPU, so this is perfectly fine. It might be a bit short, but if that is an issue, I have an extender cable which we can use to perfectly avoid any issues around that. So now that seems to be working okay. Also I find the correct position of the plug. No, not yet. I have one of two. I have two of two. Yes, I can have two of two. Okay. We have, as you can see, the fan here is fixed now as well. We have the fixed fan here, we have the G-Skill fans here, we can just quickly connect to power. Okay, in practice this looks kind of more hard than I thought. I thought I had this adapter actually pretty much ready somewhere here. Oh, this one. No, let's put it the other direction. Well. Okay. Well, then we have not much choice other than powering it from another source, which is not too relevant in the total power consumption anyway. I have a power supply here, which will supply it stable 5 and 12 volts. So, okay. Yeah, in this case it's one of these annoying power supplies that is just issues with the plug not being connected correctly. Oh well. I also have a solution for it, which is actually even more simple. Because we in Croatia are very inventive. So yellow is plus, black is ground, roses are red and 5 volts. The yellow connector is that even? Really running on 5 volts? Okay. Very interesting. So put 5 volts in here. Put 5 volts in here. Okay, there is no short circuit. I'll just quickly find a way to take this together. Oh well, our best friend Super Glue will come to the rescue once more. Yeah, kids, do not try to attempt this at home. This is a professional office, as you can see. Yes, yes, it is. It is, it is. It's the best office, I guarantee you. So, let's just try that out for a second. And then lower. So let's see. We are ready at 3.6 gigahertz.